Everybody,
Live,
come on
man.
in and hit that live button. Subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, we about to go on in about. Oh, we are on. We on. I'm talking about to go on. Let's
We
go,
on. We
baby.
about to go. Show gonna start in 5, 4,
3, 2.
3.
I
I
was
was
waiting
like,
on you, dog.
2.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you been? I heard you was on a show called Reasons. What's that? Hey, fat boy, what's up, man? Saw you're on this show, Reasons, with this guy named Fuel. Yeah, I was thinking about watching it, but like, I need some reasons to watch it. So, like, what are your reasons? You have 0 new messages.
Yo, got some information.
Yep.
That's good. What should we do? Let's give it to him. Let's do it.
From Dallas to LA, from KC, Florida to LA. We watch Reasons, and it starts now.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Reasons, baby, and we're live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In case you guys out there in different states and everything, I know y'all are. So we're here now. We about to get it popping. It's your boy Fuel in the house.
Fat boy in the building. You already know what type of time we on. We are here.
What's up, big dog? You doing? How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, dog. I'm feeling good about the guests we have for today. As you guys see, we're talking about cancer today. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be Cancer Month for us to give you information that we need to give you about, the signs of cancer and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we got a special guest, you guys. You will be seeing her in a few, Miss Julia Goldshlag. She's be up with us in a few. But since we got a guest, man. Oh yeah, did you hear the claps? Did you hear the claps?
Yeah, I heard. That was good.
Since we have a guest, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it, man, because I want to spend some time with Julia on this topic as well, and then we got another topic after that. So we're gonna jump on in, man. It's that time, man. Fat boy, it's all on you this time, big dog. Yes, sir. It's history and blackness with Fat Boy. Let's get it.
Hey, hey, hey. We got a young gun in the game today, y'all.
Right.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. We got a young gun. Thank you guys. Welcome to another segment of History of Blackness. Today's segment is the one and only, none other than Mr. Ryan Kyle Coogler, man. As I said, today we honor Ryan Coogler, a visionary filmmaker whose work has redefined Black storytelling and cultural power in global cinema. Born on May 23rd, 1986 in Oakland, California, and raised in Richmond, Coogler's upbringing in the Bay Area deeply shaped his understanding of community, justice, and identity. He earned a bachelor's degree in finance from St. Mary's College of California before pursuing his creative calling, later receiving a Master of Fine Arts in Directing from the University of Southern California School of Cinematic Arts. Ryan Coogler rose to prominence with his debut film, Fruitvale Station, in 2013, which won both the Grand Jury Prize and the Audience Award at the Sundance Film Festival. He went on to direct Creed in 2015, revitalizing the legendary franchise, and achieved global impact with Black Panther in 2018, a cultural milestone that became one of the highest grossing films of all time and earned multiple Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. Its sequel, Black Panther Wakanda Forever in 2022, continued his legacy, receiving additional Oscar nominations and worldwide acclaim. Coogler has been named to Time magazine's list of 100 most influential people in the world and has received numerous NAACP Image Awards for his contributions to film and culture. We all know that he also had, I gotta throw that in there because they put it in there, but also Sinners is one of the greatest movies. It's nominated for 17 Oscars this year. It was nominated for 7 Golden Globes. But through his work, Ryan Coogler has centered Black humanity with honesty, depth, and global impact, proving that our stories are not niche, they are universal. By combining cultural integrity with commercial success, he has expanded what is possible for Black creators in Hollywood and beyond, leaving a legacy that will influence generations of filmmakers to come. This is History in Blackness, where we honor the storytellers who shape the world by telling the truth. Ryan Coogler reminds us that when we control our narratives, we control our future. Our stories are powerful, our voice are necessary, and our legacy is still being written. Thank you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. History in Blackness with Fat Boy. Always bringing the smoke for us, baby. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yes, sir. Hey, man. It's crazy. I just need to start doing more work, and recognizing our people.
Yeah.
I have to, man, because I didn't realize that he was a filmmaker for all those movies.
Yeah, he been doing this for a while, man. Fruitvale Station was his debut film. And that was his. Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
He made by Black Panther alone.
Oh yeah.
What's up? What's it? Who's that?
Maisha.
Oh, there's okay, Maisha and BP Banks in the house. What's good? What's good?
What's up,
appreciate
cousins?
you guys tapping in.
What's up, family?
In case you guys just joining us, we were just talking about history and blackness with Ryan Coogler, a Black African-American filmmaker, and that's done some top of the line charts, raised the charts and raised the.
He making money.
Yes, sir. We have a special guest for you guys today.
Special guest.
And then we're also going to be talking about parenting in the 21st century, man. Challenges and triumphs. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably something that all of us can relate to. All of us that have kids, of course. Especially the difference from say, for instance, if myself, I have grown kids now, as opposed to those that have the youngins. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, man, I want to get into our special guest. She's actually a cancer survivor, breast cancer survivor, and also, she's a supporter and I want to say activist. I don't know if that's correct, but for cancer and fundraising and all that good stuff. So with no further ado, man, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go ahead and bring in Miss. Where's my intro? I got to do it right. We got to bring in our girl, Miss Julia Goldshlag, baby. There she is. What's up, Julia?
Good evening.
Hi, Miss Julia. How you doing?
Hi, doing good. How are you?
Good.
So
I'm doing well. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, so let's start off by us introducing you, giving us a little information about yourself. I feel like it is very important because you being a survivor, what I'm saying, and have very good knowledge and, understanding as to what's going on when it comes to people with just actually getting breast cancer and how they can kind of help get through it and all that kind of stuff.
So I was diagnosed with breast cancer 3 years ago. It was triple positive, stage 3. At that time, I was a caregiver for my dying mother, for my 2 little children, and I was a single woman. So this diagnosis hit me hard. I fought bravely, but I learned a lot and became aware of struggles of other women in my situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I became an activist because I realized that quite often women have better outcomes just because they have better access to resources.
Right.
And not because some of these resources are not available, but because there's no awareness of what's available.
Right.
And speaking of African Americans, African American woman is more likely to pass from cancer than white woman. 38% more likely.
Wow.
What is this? That's
Right.
the availability of resources, right?
Right.
So it starts. I've noticed that there are a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings starting from diagnostics.
Yes.
Right? Mammograms and diagnostics is mostly free. People are hesitant, women are hesitant to go and get tested because they think that they will have to pay
for it. Exactly.
Especially women who work, especially single women. Well, they get into a situation where they work and they have high deductible plan. And they think if they go for testing, they will have to pay out-of-pocket fees. This is not so. Affordable Care Act requires to diagnose a woman for breast cancer, and nobody just knows about it. So this is at the front of the diagnosis. Then when diagnosis happens, quite often, let's say, that's what happened to me. I was diagnosed in a smaller clinic, and I felt like I was not getting everything that I could have gotten in a larger clinic. So I had to transfer. And I realized that quite often women have misconception that if you don't have great insurance, if you don't have insurance at all, you cannot transfer to hospitals like in LA. It will be like Cedars-Sinai. On the East Coast, it's MSK. In fact, they can. They just have to be their own advocates. They have to call. There are programs available for financial assistance. Even if you're not transferring, even if you want to get the second opinion, you can get those top-notch services regardless of your income level. And again, I feel like the trap category of women is quite often single mothers who have a lot on their plate. They just don't have this emotional bandwidth to dig through this.
Right.
And they feel like, oh, I have this high deductible plan. It's going to cost me money. I can't do it. And they just stay in a place that is not optimal to them. And so, and many other realizations came to me about availability of resources. And that's when I decided that after I was able to find ways to get the best treatment I could. I feel like I need to get out there and just let other women know, and actually other cancer patients. It's just breast cancer is something that I'm familiar with. Let other women know that they can have the best care. And for their children, I was the mother to a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. And it's a very difficult age where they do understand that mom can die.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go into too, as well, is the first days of diagnosis, and then trying to share that with your family and with your employers, the emotional aspect that it takes, to kind of go through that, to talk about that or whatever. You have anything that basically at least the tools that you use to
Mhm.
to talk to your family and your friends?
First of all, schools have psychologists. Insurance, most insurances will have to cover services not only for you but also for your child. Also, there are excellent volunteer organizations, free of charge. They are large organizations that service thousands of patients, survivors, patients, and caregivers. Imerman Angels, Can Care, those are trained volunteers, and they will match you with the volunteer who went through exactly the same experience. And as cancer is getting younger, more and more young mothers get diagnosed. So there are a lot of mothers who had to deal with it and who could navigate this successfully. Uh, uh, Can Care is more spiritual, and I mean, it serves everybody, but it's
Yeah.
more geared towards religious cohort. Imerman Angels, my understanding is they're more like mm, uh, again, they
That's
serve everybody,
yeah.
but less spiritual. But all of them are great resources. And
That's a good thing that you said. I mean, cut you off. I'm sorry. But you said I just didn't want to lose that thought. You said spiritual. Um, and of course, I don't know if anyone knows, but my daughter's mom passed from breast cancer, and she was very spiritual. Um, and but the difference was that at the time, and I don't know, if she knew it at the time or who to talk to or how to talk to her, just wanted to keep it to herself. I think that she started the spiritual aspect of it later during the stages, as opposed to at the very beginning. And with what you're saying, is what I really appreciate hearing as well, because you want to have that talk, you want to have that at the beginning stages. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, some people thinking they're being a burden when actually they're being, getting supported to actually uplift them to, be strong and get through this whole ordeal. I wish I had a chance with my daughter's mom like that, to speak to her, what I'm saying, to kind of be there for her at that very beginning until she, well, we didn't know anything about it until she got to stage 4, because she kept it that much or whatever. But and she was spiritually trying to fight it. But I think, a part of that would have been a whole lot helpful, at least in my mind, if I knew it earlier or whatever, and me and her daughter knew it earlier to, kind of uplift her more, and then also encourage her. And if it was getting, escalating and getting worse or whatever, encourage her to go, to the doctors and do what she need to do or whatever. So I appreciate that part. Yes.
you are absolutely right. Some patients do choose to cope by trying to tough it out or do it by themselves, or and that's the whole separate topic, do it holistically. And especially when patients decide to go less conventional route, do it holistically, they share less and less with those who might not support them. So this is a really tricky situation where you need to respect that person's decisions,
Yeah.
but still be able to open up the horizon and say, look, there
Right.
is this available and that available. How about, we try together? What I want to say is that the best thing that I've done, I think, for myself and for my children is accepting help.
Yeah.
I asked for all sorts of help. I
Yeah.
accepted all the help that I could. And when I did not have help, that's when I screwed up. Not I screwed up, where my situation got bad.
Yeah.
My sister is in LA. I'm on the East Coast.
Right.
So before she got here, she kind of needed to organize her affairs. And get here. So before she got here, I was going to my appointments alone. I didn't want to ask my ex-husband for help.
Right.
I didn't want to burden anyone. I went to my appointments alone. This is not the best thing to do. The best thing to do is always to have somebody on the appointment, and things slip through the cracks. And my results were inconclusive. I transferred to another hospital. They did not retest. I was misdiagnosed, and my treatment was for different subtype of cancer. I was treated for hormone positive instead of being treated right away for triple positive. They then adjusted the treatment, but it is very important to get help. It is very important to ask your friends, family, whoever is your trusted person to come with you for the appointments. If nobody can come with you for the appointments, write down everything you hear and write down everything you think. Because if your instincts are telling you that something is off, and I had that call, I kind of felt like something is getting lost. And I just didn't go back to it. Like if you have this inner sense that something is getting
awful weird
falling off the plate, take notes, ask your questions, and ask for help. With children, it's especially important. My son, it happened so quickly. He started coming, like the next day he went to our neighbor and asked if her parents are alive or passed. He started coming to teachers. Like that's what he was talking about to everybody. Not getting resolution for himself, stressing people out.
Right.
School promptly got him school psychologist. I got him a psychologist. I went into therapy myself. That helped me to explain to him. I started talking to mothers who were diagnosed with small children. I got a lot of good advice. And the way I put it for my children, mommy is going to fight, and mommy is a fighter. Mommy is going to look bad. She's going to lose hair. Mommy is going to be weak. And maybe
just preparing them for basically
this is the way the medicine works. This is part of the fight. So yes, and it's my personal opinion. That's just a personal opinion. My children did well because I was honest. I was at their level with my explanations. I was using assistance of psychologists, but I did not hide it. And you know, the interesting thing is that I got a lot of help from friends and from my sister, and it united us in ways we could not believe. We look back now and we're thinking this was one of the best times. We were in the moment for each other, loving each other, giving each other everything. And friends and my sister looked at me and they held their children closer, you know. Some women held their husbands closer. They lived a little stronger. They were, you know, in this friendship a little more. And we look at it as a very, very powerful experience for everybody. So when you allow people to help you, you really allow them to bring their best selves.
So you guys that's out there that are listening, you know, and know someone that has cancer or been diagnosed with cancer, you know, at this early stage, you know, we encourage you guys to, you know, have them talk to someone, you know, encourage them to talk to others, all that good stuff, you know. I think that's a very important thing that we need to actually learn. What you got, Fat Boy?
Thank you. Thank you for your. First off, I wanted to.
It take too long to get to you.
First off, I wanted to.
Thank you.
No. Actually, I was actually listening. I just wanted to say thank you to Julia, one, for being brave enough to come on the show and talk about these things, because this is this is a sensitive topic. Number one, and then also I wanted to applaud you for being a fighter. This is something serious, and I applaud you for continuing to fight, not only for yourself, but for your family, right? So applaud to you and shout out to you for your strength. One of my biggest questions is, because you touched on a lot of things, and so one of the questions is, how did dieting and exercise support your feeling? How did you, support your healing? How did that help you along the way?
So I would separate it into physical and emotional. So,
stuff. Mhm.
and I would keep to the topic of resources. Unfortunately, doctors don't volunteer this information. They don't
Right.
volunteer information about dietitians available at the large centers. And
Mhm.
if you're in a smaller center, then they can refer you. Dietitians, physical therapists, exercise, all kinds of exercise programs are available quite often free of charge. This information is not volunteered. You have to ask for it, but you will be help will be provided.
Right.
Uh, there is increasing evidence that physical exercise and diet support your body. Cancer feeds on glucose. So when you go on a healthy diet,
Oh, see,
when you
so yeah, that's good
reduce
enough.
unhealthy carbs and sugars, you're helping your body to fight. Unfortunately, and that was a shocking moment for me. I was at the best cancer center, and when I asked, what can I do for my body? They said, oh, just make sure you don't lose more weight.
But they don't give
With
you.
my statue, I'm like, okay, I wouldn't lose more weight, but I can do something to help my body. Oh, just whatever suits you. You're going to be nauseous, whatever you. No, it's not like that. Healthy diet is important for your body. There's plenty of research there, and good dietitian, and especially when you go through chemo, have to address it. Your intestine suffers in many ways, and you get diarrhea, and you get in pain and other discomforts. And good dietitian will help you to adjust, to reduce the symptoms. On top of that, all kinds of chemo kills your microbiome, and it needs to be restored. So
Now, how did you find those? How did you find it? Say the right thing that helped you. How did you
I
find the
found it
right
through
diet?
reading and research and a lot of online support groups. But the shortcut to it was finding a good dietitian. And again, with resources, unfortunately, many of these things are available through integrative medicine. And we're talking about $400 a visit. And my thing is like, it should not be like that.
Right. That's very expensive, and everybody, yeah, can afford it. So, do you have any kind of ideal as to, what is affordable for people, that need that type of help? That's basically affordable.
So, to me, I got a lot of help from talking to volunteers. Getting in, I'm definitely against any self-medication techniques, but volunteers share what they did. And then you take this list of supplements and you can take it to your oncologist and discuss it with the oncologist. For example, MSK on East Coast, Cedars-Sinai I think they have similar program where you take it to dietitian and to integrative doctor there, and they will tell you, okay, like for example, mushroom supplement, turkey tail,
Okay.
ALA, they will evaluate it and they'll tell you, okay, it doesn't interact with any of your medications. You can take it as you wish,
Yeah.
So, if you ask for these resources, that's why I'm saying if you're in a very small setting and they cannot provide you with any extra services, if you have like push a friend like me, ask them to help you, to fight for you, to make calls, to get
Yeah.
you to the other centers, because they have all this stuff. And exercise programs as well. So talk to volunteers, reach out to volunteers. Don't ever take medical advice from them, but get the ideas and then go back to integrative medicine or dietitians or, physical exercise programs in those settings. So
that's a good thing to know.
Physical.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing to know, because a lot of people don't realize, and just rely off of, what the doctor says, and the doctor, of course, not to say we're trying to be, advocates of not going to the doctors or anything.
No.
We're saying basically, use all resources when it comes to such a serious illness, you know what I mean? So, but it's good to know, because that little extra thing could help people a lot. you know.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why it's not shared through the medical field like it is, because it's not about, it ain't the money, it ain't, you know, they're not going to get the money for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you know what's unfortunate? Let me just finish with your first question. So there is this physical aspect of it that also women who get on hormonal therapy start losing bone density. So exercise is paramount. And the sooner you start, the less bone density you lose. So going for that exercise program to prevent osteoporosis is very, very important. So that's the physical aspect of it. Now there is emotional aspect of it.
Yeah.
When you go to the doctor, and again, not criticizing medical field here, but when I say I want to fight, what can I do? And they're like, oh, just eat healthy and exercise. Well, but they don't tell you what to do and how important that is. I think they should be telling, you know, do your best, get off that couch. If you cannot get off that couch, you know, take this little weights, take a gallon of milk, and do the exercise. Don't get up off the couch, right? Just stay there, lay on your back, and start doing bicycle. You'll get your heart pumping. The nausea will subside. You will want to get up. Turn the music on. You know, they're not coaching you, you know? And that's, again, where volunteers, that's what I do quite often. I will, this weekend, I'll visit a couple of people, and I'll be them like, come on, let's get up. It's gonna snow. Let's see the snow. You just need to get off that couch and move for 5 minutes. So there's no this coaching. There's no this energy. They're like, oh, whatever. Yeah, it's nice if you exercise. But emotionally, when you start lifting that weight, even if it's a gallon of milk on your couch, you feel empowered. You feel like you're fighting, you know? And the same is with the diet. Yes, you don't eat that chocolate even if you want it, but you know what you're fighting for. And this type of coaching needs to be happening, and it should not be $400 consultation, you know?
I can't remember the last time I had a gallon of milk, though. That's what I haven't had a gallon in a long time.
Whatever you have in your house, right?
Would you get some more? What'd you get?
Yeah, I got two more follow-up questions. But this one is also, what did community, or what role does community play in your long-term healing? Right? What does that community play in your long-term healing?
Good question. Yes.
In the long-term healing, community is hope. So first of all, they provide you energy, and when you see kindness and when you see love to your children, that wants you live more, fight more, and be your best self. And then when you survive, you want to keep being your best self, and you want to bring it back to your community, right? You want to keep, and that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. For me, my community is not just my neighborhood anymore. To me, my community are women who are fighters, who fought cancer, or who are fighting cancer, or who are coping with what came after cancer. So this is my community now. And you just want to be your best self, fight with them.
Right.
I love that. And then this will be my final one. I have more, but this one I wanted to touch on because I don't think that this is talked about either. And how did, I don't know if you're dating or not, or were you dating during the time, but how did it impact dating, your relationship life, your intimacy life? I know that had to be tough as well, right? So how did you navigate through that as well?
That's also part of my advocacy. So when I was diagnosed, I just divorced. And I knew that intimacy was important to me. I was hoping that I'll survive and I'll meet somebody one day. And what another shocking thing. So I was a 42-year-old woman. And the doctor was sending me into chemo, was inducing menopause, early menopause, not talking to me at all about what will happen to my body. The only thing that was discussed was breast reconstruction, but I was like, hold on a minute. There is more than just breast to this whole ordeal.
Exactly.
And I want to be intimate one day, and the devastation that early menopause and chemo cause can be colossal, and yet you're not offering me anything. And she goes like, yeah, you can just, read online. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, so I started reading online, and then I realized that the problems are profound. And I go back to the doctor. I'm like, you know what? There are supplements, there are medications out there. I have zero medical knowledge. Like, and then she's like, oh yeah. There is this company, Reverie, and we provide like 50% coupons because it's expensive stuff. Again, no volunteered information, no explanation of what's going to happen to my body, no explanation of what I can do right now during chemo to keep my body in the best shape possible.
Right.
What's worse, and then I got on dating sites, so that's a whole separate topic. I first hid. I didn't put it out front that I'm a cancer survivor, but then I felt like, what am I hiding? Because you go on a date, like on day 2, you tell the guy that I'm a cancer survivor, and some of them like look at you.
Oh, really?
Like you're a ghost, and
really?
And I'm like, I have more vitality in me than many, people, But then I decided, well, first, if person is not okay with it, I don't think
that says a lot about
my charming personality will make with the cancer. If he's not okay with it, he's not okay with it. And then I felt like I'm reducing myself, and I was like, no. I'm not going to reduce myself. I'm not any less than what I was. I'm actually more. And I put it right there. First page, cancer survivor. And it just made my life so much better. And the guys who are coming now, I have very few hits. I'm not lying. I'm not getting hundreds.
You put it on your profile
there.
You put that on your profile, cancer survivor, on your profile, basically, is what it is? Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good because basically they know ahead of time, whatever. It's nothing that you have to go too much in debt to just by them knowing, and it could be a good conversation piece too. And it says a lot about the person that you meet, you know what I mean?
But it sorts out people who are just not for me.
Exactly.
I get very few likes, but guys who do connect with me,
you get quality.
Really
quality over quantity.
Quality
over quantity. I wish I had quality over quantity when it came to those dating sites.
What also is tragic is that there are couples out there. And when the couple goes through it, and if they're not provided with the information, they get into trouble. And unfortunately, men quite often misunderstood. Men get lost in this situation. They get frustrated. And they don't get any help. And that's not helpful for a woman either. So this awful combination of minimal information and not enough support for a caregiver destroys couples. And again, volunteering and organizations do provide services for caregivers.
Do you have any as far as like where some people can go to get help or even get more information like you're giving us now that I'll put up here in a few?
I don't have it readily available, especially for West Coast, because I'm on the East Coast, but I definitely can produce a flyer that you can maybe put in the comments.
Okay.
So
we'll do that.
Yes.
We definitely do that. Real quick, what's up, Heather? Heather's on the line. Who else do we have? Moms is on the lines. Toy, my little niece, she's on the line.
Hey, Mom.
I hope you guys are getting something out of this conversation. And if you guys got any questions, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I know it's a little, a serious conversation, when it comes to this sort of illness. When it's come to cancer, it's a serious conversation. But I hope you guys are taking something from it and be able to share with your friends or whatever. So when you were saying like the relationship part of it, relationships, when it comes to the relationships, how do say for instance, because you sometimes you're gonna come into a relationship and they have kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so do you feel like that the kids have to be told as well, you know what I'm saying, once you guys get into a relationship, just to kind of know, so they know who you are, you know what I'm saying? They know what you're fighting for, your whole, support and all that kind of stuff. Do you actually share that with them like right off bat, or do you kind of wait to them to get to know you type of thing?
I think and again, it's just my personal opinion. Cancer is not just something little bit that can be hidden. I mean, if you've been survivor for 15 years, maybe, but when it's fresh, it's better to have managed conversation that you are prepared for in a setting that you can manage than something to just pop out.
Yeah.
So I'm always on the side where I will speak at the level of that situation, right? I would not go into complex and painful details, but I would not let it just be on autopilot. This is too serious to be on an autopilot.
Right,
And then when you manage this conversation correctly, then it's just a thing. It becomes just a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do like that. I think that's one. I think it's important, like you said earlier, where if you're not having this conversation, not just with family and people that you're dating, you're kind of hiding yourself, right? And in this time, that's extra stress added on to what you're already going through. So I think that is extremely important. And once again, I say I applaud you again for understanding the power that you still held in a time when you were so vulnerable, right? You still maintain your power, which then gave you the strength to continue to fight forward. Because a lot of people, I'm guessing, right, in this situation, begin to lose their power because they just don't know either one, the resources, two, they're afraid to share, and three, they don't, with being afraid to share, you don't have that community which builds that hope that you were talking about.
Exactly.
And I think that those three things could definitely and ultimately come to your demise, right? Because you don't have all cylinders working, right? Not just health, not just eating right, but understanding that there's a balance, that I am who I am. I am a cancer survivor, or I am going through cancer, and I'm going through chemo, and this is what it looks like to do so. And if you're here with me, then you're going to be here with me. But if not, then that also gives me the power to say, hey, this may not be for me, or I can't share it with this family member or these family members, but I have to share with my mother and my children because they're going to be my community who will help me continue with hope. So thank you for breaking that down.
Oh yeah. And Heather said managing conversation is a great approach. And she also said great point on caregiving. They definitely need support. Exactly.
Yes,
and
for sure.
Amisha says great information, just taking it all in. Yeah, take it all in. And make sure you share it though. Make sure you share it. Take it in and share it. That's the whole purpose on here. That you share it with someone and give them that information too as well. Well, man, I mean, I already knew it was going to be a good conversation, Julia. I already knew. And I know there's a whole lot more that we can, get into. But we'll bring you in, on these sections and more, of course.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. And I hope somebody hears us today and will be able to, inspire somebody to fight for the best care that can be available.
Oh, I know something you may have that you actually can give me like what group? What's the name of the group that you're with? And I'll put it in our caption as well as we,
The volunteering groups.
Uh-huh.
Imerman Angels, IMERMAN Angels.
Oh, you said that.
And
fast.
another group.
I don't take that fast, Julie. Hold on. Say it again. What is it?
IMERMAN. Imerman Angels. And another group is Can Care. CAN Care. CARE.
CARE.
CA.
Okay.
Right.
Support groups, right?
Support group. These are volunteers. They provide one-on-one help. Can Care has groups
On Facebook,
So-
Instagram, or what's it on?
They have websites. They have
Okay.
phone numbers. They serve thousands of people. So you can just
Or
Google
social
them.
media, yeah.
Oh, they are. You can Google them, and you can tell exact. Like if you want to be matched with somebody with an exact diagnosis, they will find you that person. If you have little children and you have questions about that, they'll find you person. So you will be matched pretty well. Like at MSK, I had the same type of volunteers talking to me. I would think Cedar Sinai probably has the too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Sure
Good
they
to know. I
do.
just want to give our people a little something. Here, Fat Boy, read this. Mom said.
Mom says, I truly appreciate this show and taking the time to address what happens to so many people and families. This is an amazing topic to discuss and address. Kudos to the Queen Survivor. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
will.
Thank you,
Let me
Mom.
give
Shout out
some
to
love
you.
for that. Give some love.
Thank you.
That's what's up. All right. We're gonna go to the next segment because I'm sure we're gonna get requests for more topics like this in the future. So if you want to hang around, we're talking about kids,
Okay.
the 20th century, raising them in this 20th century. But we'll be right back after this little commercial. Are you gonna stay with us, Julia? Or you want to go out? You with us? I appreciate it. We want your input. You have kids. We want your input. All right, we gonna come right back right after this little message here. All right.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to TNRCreations.com. I am the proud owner of this phenomenal gift shop. Y'all gotta check us out. We have bags, we have water bottles, we have photo slates, we have name-meaning plaques, and so much more. I would love to have you as a customer. Check us out, TNRCreations.com. Thank you for your support.
All right. That's a little something for TNR Creations. You can get your gifts, your bags, and all that good stuff with a 10% discount from your boy Fuel if you put them in the code there. All right. So yeah, use that code. Save you some money. And actually, TNR can actually make those cups and mugs and stuff like that for supporting, for cancer and all that. So we got June coming up. You might want for cancer awareness. Exactly. Yeah. So definitely check them out at TNR Creation at what is it? I forgot. www.tnrcreations.com. There we go.
It's crazy.
All right, man. It's crazy. All right, man. Do you want me to start this off, Fat Boy? You want me to start it?
Yeah, I got you. I'll start it off.
You got it? All right, let's go.
Yep. All right, so today, y'all, we're going to be talking about parenting in the 21st century and the challenges and triumphs that come from it. Raising kids today is a lot different than 20 years ago. Parenting in a modern era comes with new pressures, tools, and expectations. From technology to time management, today's parents are navigating uncharted territory. This episode explores real challenges, meaningful wins, and practical strategies for raising healthy, confident kids. So, go ahead. Oh, okay, cool. So segment one, we're going to talk about challenges modern parents face. I think the number one we all face, and something that I've learned from my sister, is increased screen time, and digital exposure. I think that those things, if we do not monitor or we do not control, I think that with so much access and so many different upbringings and ways children are raised, it could then overflow into your house. So I think it's extremely important that we control how much our children are on screens, but also what they're watching when they're on the screens.
Right.
I'm very a big component about that. I'm huge on my daughter not watching a lot of YouTube because there's so much access to things that are not kid friendly, and they're so drawn to the things that aren't kid friendly than the things that are actually kid friendly.
Of course,
and so for a minute they have some things called like Italian brain rot, and then all of these brain rot things had a demonic feel to it, and I think that is portrayed as being cool. However, it then begins to affect the way that the child behaves. So I definitely think that it's extremely important that we control increased screen times and the digital exposure. Another thing, and I'm not going to go all through these another thing is financial pressure. And Julie, I know you know this, the financial pressure and the rise of cost of living, right? I want to,
it is expensive for having these kids these days.
This one, I want to not just ask our audience, but I want to ask Julia, how has this, right, in the time and raising two youngins, right? How has financial pressures and a rising cost of living impacted the way that you parent?
Well, I'm lucky enough, thank God, I can work from home when school is off. I cannot imagine what parents have to go through to be able to pay for those little days off when they have to go to work outside of home. What in my community, what mothers do right now, because who can afford this, to avoid using screens as a babysitting tool, we take turns. We rotate. If I can stay at home and take a couple of kids in and they just destroy my house and just run around, they have a blast. They're not on screens and we save money. And then another mom will help me some other day. So again, community will help you.
Community is important. I like that. I like that. And then go ahead, Phil.
No, I was just going to say, because the kids are so expensive now these days, you know, from when we grew up, whatever, you know, we wouldn't even think of asking for nothing that costs $100.
Absolutely not.
Now kids don't understand that the $100 is a lot of money. You know, they thinking that $100 is like $20 to them. You know what I mean? It's a big difference from when we, you know, grew up and as what's going on right now. And that's because of the expensive things, like just the games itself and all that kind of stuff that they want to do or whatever. Go ahead, fat boy. I had to cut.
Yes, no, for sure. Great point, Julian. This kind of brings me to another point. Understanding the importance of safety concerns and constant information overload. We kind of talked about that with the screen exposure, but also, right, as they grow, your safety concerns. And so what I want to also, since you're here, Julie, I want to ask you about this too. How also is that impacting you? And I'll kind of go into mine after you finish. How is it impacting you far as safety concerns, just not on screen exposure, but just out sending children out into the daily world with child trafficking being so high, at an all-time high, and just so much, you know, school shootings and all of these things that we deal with in our society today? How are you training your children, and what are you teaching your children?
So that's another discussion that I had with another mom, is that we don't want our kids to be on the screen, and the screens are dangerous too. So I, for example, don't allow watching YouTube on small devices. Me neither. YouTube has to be on that large screen that I hear and I can see it. But like another aspect, when we were growing up, I was growing up in Russia, we we'll be kicked. And I know it was the same in the United States. We'll be kicked out of the house and, run around for
Outside, yeah.
hours and then come back home to eat and off you go again until it's dark. But there was a community. Like if I misbehave or if I go somewhere or some strange person comes to me, there will be another lady like watching out of your backyard, a window, be like, hey, right now, nobody's really watching other kids much. Nobody's paying attention. There are not many
There's
kids.
no more of the village raising the kids,
Right.
the
Even if
neighborhood.
I
It's none
let
of that
my
no more.
kids go outside and play and my friend will do the same, well, it's just three of them running around. There's no more this flock of chickens
Right,
running and
Yeah.
everybody kind of watching what's going on, which complicates things. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what brings me
good.
to balancing work, life, and parenting. Sometimes parents will feel guilty because they're not making their kids happy because they want something. You know what I mean? As opposed to just kind of giving them a balance. Give them something here and then take and then understand that the only reason that you got this is because of your behavior. You know what I'm saying? That because you were good. And so you can kind of balance in the fact that, hey, letting the kid know, you do this, you get this. If you don't get it, period. You know what I mean? There's no, oh, you cry and have a fit and I'm gonna just give in to you, and so you can have it, it's not a lot of parenting like that no more because a lot of them feel more guilty or they'll get burnt out of them or their kids complaining or crying and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But I think that's one of the other things that we need to still practice is the balance of that. Also, asking others, like you were saying earlier, what I'm saying, that because we don't have a village or whatever to raise our kids, but still asking others, what I'm saying, for support, and accept their support. Sometimes, a lot of kids, a lot of parents now feel like if they're getting some advice from someone else that they feel like they're not, instead of looking at it as support, they looking at it as they're not doing as good or whatever, or they don't know what they're doing or whatever, when actually, someone that's basically experienced is just giving you a little support and trying to say, if I come in your house and your kids just kicking and acting a fool or whatever and being disrespectful to you, I'm gonna give them that look or whatever, be like, and I would say something at least to you, that you can probably say to them to get them to straighten up or whatever. Or if you say, hey, Fuel, just let them know, I'm gonna give you that support, but you have to be able to accept that. You have to actually want that or whatever, So, that's another thing as well. Did you guys have something on there?
Absolutely, Fuel. I just kind of want to second that. I think Julia just touched on it, just the power of having that support system and being able to have that sense of community. But it is so rare, as Julia was saying, because it's not a bunch of little kiddies out there anymore. And two, kind of to your point, parents have become so sensitive as well. And so, like you said, Julia, we grew up in a time where you liable to get a whooping from the neighbor. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it also kept you responsible. It kept you alert. Right. And also kept you respectful. I think a lot now, to go to your point, Fuel, is that we kind of got to get back to that. As parents, we can't be so sensitive. And we also have to encourage that sense of community. Hey, if you see my child out there doing something wrong, say something. Because what we don't understand is silence is acceptance. And I think that's a huge issue with just the generation now, is a lot of people are just scared to say anything to these children. And that is the reason why things are going so wild, whether they're young or whether they're age and what they call YNs, right? And dealing with things like that. So I think it's extremely important to
absolutely, indeed,
understand the impact of the support.
I think what we keep touching right now, we're living in difficult times right now. It's kind of dark times.
We are.
Here. And
yes.
I think what comes through this entire conversation is that people need to come together and hold each other.
Most important.
and support each other, because unfortunately it's us against what,
The world.
5%.
Yeah.
And we need to
Yeah, it
hold
is.
each other and unite and push for best life that we can get for ourselves. And alone and divided, Machiavellian principle is divide and conquer. We should not let anyone to divide us, to
Divide and
weaken
conquer
us,
us. I agree.
and conquer us. We should stay together, help each other as community, lean on each other.
Absolutely. Yes. Mom said, unfortunately, Fuel, we no longer come from the mother hen era, and therefore it makes a village parenting difficult. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. That's exactly what Fat Boy was saying. We need to get back to it. You know what I mean? But like I said, we have to not look or feel that we're being told by somebody else what to do or how to raise our kids. It's just basically accepting the help, from people or whatever, so we definitely need that. All right, man. I know we run the shot on time. We got a little more, to go, but we'll get back to it next time. What time is it?
We'll touch on it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we did good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
good
That's
stuff,
what's
y'all.
up. That's what's
because
up.
you know
Once
what?
again, you guys. Oh, go ahead, Fat Boy. What you gonna say?
Yeah, I was really gonna put a button on it. You know what? Julia just said it all. And Mom said it all. We got to get back to that mother hen. We got to get back to that sense of community, because that is where the confusion and disconnection comes from, because we're allowing others to divide and conquer us. And that's ethnically, that's culturally, right? That's gender as well, right? And I think that as long as we allow that, like Julia said, our children are in trouble, because there's so much more access. There's so much more things to harm them than it was when, say, you all were growing up or when I were growing up, right? It is a little bit different. And so I think that Julia just hit it on the head. We need to be more conscious about how we deal with each other within our community, to model ourselves as an example for our children as well. And that will also rejuvenate that sense of community, because now we holding ourselves accountable and understanding the power of building community amongst ourselves, and how it could potentially not only impact our children, but impact us as parents in our decision making also. So thank you for that, Julia.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
And so I'm gonna close it out with saying, pay attention to your kids.
Yep. Facts.
Pay attention to your kids. Give them attention as well. Some kids do other things because they're not getting attention from their parents or whatever. Yes. So we need to start, paying attention to our kids and try to be there for them, and try to have meaningful conversations with them as to what they're doing and what they like to do, as to grow, because we don't, we kind of let them do their own thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Real quick, this is the last comment. Unfortunately, I don't think we will ever get back to that old sense of community. Well, we can always try, Heather.
We can try, Heather. Yeah,
we can try. We do more shows like this or whatever, and put the word out there and keep talking about it. Eventually it may happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Keep hope alive.
Somewhat. But I do agree with, because Julia touched on it, I do kind of understand where Heather is coming from, because people are so caught up in being divided, and we're so pushed in division. It's going to be a lot more challenging to build that sense of community, because we have been broken up with division. But like Fuel said, Heather, I think that we should still keep hope alive. I think that there is, if once we move with a conscious approach, I think we could at least mediate or mitigate a lot of it. Yeah, for sure.
That's right. That's it. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you again, Julia, for joining us today. We appreciate you coming in. And
thank you.
Most definitely, we love to see you again, of course. It's been a wonderful show. That's going to do it for us, man. We appreciate you guys that listen and comment. We want you to always share, put the word out there. The numbers are getting a little bigger. We want to get it even bigger. All right. So put the word out there for Fired Up Broadcasting, Reasons on Fired Up Thursdays. All right. That's what's up. What you got, Fat Boy?
Always, once again, I want to thank my co-host, of course, Love you, Fuel. Thank you, Julia, for coming up and dropping some jewels and knowledge on us. That was very important. It was food for the soul.
Thank you
today.
for having me.
Absolutely. And for any dear brother, dear sister, because we waiting on y'all. No audio, video, or even type it no longer than 30 seconds to a minute. Send it to firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. That's firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. Entitle it Dear Brother, Dear Sister. Other than that, I love every single one of y'all who come out and supports us every week. Moms, Heather, Maisha, BP. We enjoy each and every one of you who just always shows us support. And we'll see y'all next week for sure.
We'll see y'all next week, man. That's what's up. And remember,
if they talking about you behind your back,
they behind you for a reason.
Peace.